Hi scrapbook friends, this is Michelle at michellesizemore.com. This card right here shows you how to access all of my links, and that's Michelle with one L in my website. Today you'll learn how to make this page using the Forest Mushroom, I had to think about that, Forest Mushrooms Punch and the National Scrapbook Day papers. This is National Scrapbook Day for 2024. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside and grab my Power Project sleeve, which you can get these from me. It's just a temporary holding spot that's open at the top and side, easy to get to, so I can grab all the stuff I need to make this one particular project. The first thing I want to do is cut a beige border using the Forest Mushrooms Punch. So I'm going to put my cardstock in here. I want to start out at this black line right there. And these wings right here, if you'll notice, the blue part shows the mushroom design, which you'll see when you cut it. And then you move it over, cover up the blue with your design, and then it's time to punch again. And you want to make sure you don't see any blue before you punch. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to put my cardstock in here, match it up at this bottom black line. Make sure it's straight all the way on the edge and punch. Match up my design like I just explained so you don't see any blue. Hold firm against this lip right here and punch. And do the same thing all the way down until you're finished. Between each few punches, you want to get your scraps out of the way so they won't interfere with your punch. Punch, match it up so you don't see any blue, and punch, okay? And then I would also punch one out in the brown, but I've already done that here, so I don't have to do it again. I just did that to save time. Now, I'm going to grab my 12-inch trimmer, which I'm having trouble seeing at the moment, which is crazy because I just had it. Do you ever find that you lose your stuff without even moving? There it is. Okay, so the only reason I cut out brown was so I could use this bottom part as the dirt. I wanted to cut this out so that it would go along the curves of the mushrooms. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scissors. These are my Creative Memory scissors, which I love. And I am just going to freestyle this, cutting along the waves the way they are, lined up with the mushrooms. I could probably use the decorative trimmer. It's like a wavy trimmer and cut this, but I wanted to do it this way because it lines up so well with the mushrooms. Okay, so now I have my dirt, and y'all, I cut this way skinnier than I meant to. I should have left more on the bottom to make wider dirt, but that's fine. You can get the idea. Now, I want to take these are beige mushrooms that I cut out, and they are going to go behind, let's go this way. They're going to go behind my dirt. So I really just want to cut this at the bottom so that it won't stick out past the brown. So I'm going to draw a pencil line and cut it about right there. Line that up with my left-hand side dotted line, this dotted line right here, on my trimmer mat strip. Close it. Oops, I did not mean to move. Hold it down, close it, and cut. Okay, so it's just got a skinny bottom on there. And I'm going to grab this silicone mat. Y'all can order these. I can order these for you. They are under Advisor exclusive, so you won't see them on my website. One of the really cool things about being an ambassador, there's lots of things, but or an advisor, is that you can access things that everybody else can't in the back office under Advisor exclusive. So I can order these and direct ship them to you, but you won't see them on my website. And if you ever do have an interest in being an advisor, let me know. I have lots of people on my team who do it to make money. Some do it just to have fun and get a discount, extra free products, access to other things. Lots of reasons. So just let me know if you're interested in that. Okay, these mats are great because the repositionable tape runner does not stick to it. So I'm going to use this repositionable tape runner to put, let me think of what I need to do here. Actually, what I'm going to do is to put it on the back of this brown. So excess, it won't stick to the background. So if you were to put this on paper or cardstock or cardboard, it would, if you know, okay, let me back up a little bit. If you were going to do this, and it's got all these little intricate pieces, okay, and I was doing this on top of a piece of cardstock, the excess would stick to the cardstock, but it doesn't stick to this mat, okay? That's what's so cool about these mats. And this one does borders, and this one does smaller things. So I'm going to move that out of the way. Now, what I want to do now is put this brown on top so that the stems are sticking out, but you don't see that bottom solid part. So it looks like mushrooms are coming out of the dirt. Okay. Okay. Now that's a little shaggy edge right there. So I'm going to cut that off. And I'm using these micro scissors. Now, I want to go around the curve of this little mushroom so it won't just end on a flat edge. And it's cuter that way. So these micro scissors are great for that. And then I just want to shape that up just a little bit over there. And there's a little bit of a shaggy edge right here that I need to clean up. There are a few other little areas I should clean up, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so I've cut out this part. Now, the background of my page is going to be this oatmeal color. This oatmeal color came in a past National Scrapbook Day cardstock pack, which we can't buy anymore, but I think if you use like cardstock that was like the craft paper color, it would work. It'd be similar. So I'm gonna mount, you know, you would mount this on the bottom here, and your little mushrooms would stick up. And as you can tell, the colors are similar, so it's hard to see them all. But what I'm gonna do is cut out strips of mushrooms of all these different colors, cut the little tops off, and mount them on top here, so it'll look really fun. And I'm just gonna demonstrate one of those for you, and it's the same way that I did the brown and the oatmeal. You just put it in, line it up with your line down there so it starts right there on that black line. Hold it and punch. Match your pattern up, hold it straight, punch. Match your pattern up, hold it straight, punch, and so on. I love this purple, it's so pretty. I like these two-tone papers, so it's just a little bit of a lighter purple and darker purple. Now I'm going to move all these scraps out of the way. So I have a row of mushrooms that are purple. And I would do the same thing with all of these other colors. So let me just show you these other colors. There was a blue gingham, an orangey, this pretty green, this lighter color. I think that's all of them. So I would cut a row of all of these, just like I did the purple, okay? And then all you do, it's pretty easy. So let's look at this. I would cut the top off of this mushroom, which is this bigger mushroom right here. And I'll tell you, before I do that, I'm going to cut the bottom of this paper off just to give me less paper to have to maneuver with. And I'll set this aside and use it later. Okay, so that just makes this more manageable. And I want to cut this mushroom top off. So what I'm going to do, it might help if I'm over a color here. So what I'm going to do is just cut the top off, but I'm going to kind of go around the curve of the mushroom, and I'm using my micro scissors because they are so easy to work with. Excuse me. Cut the stem off. Okay. And then come around here, and there we go. So I just have the top of the mushroom. And then I'm going to try to find what I just did a few minutes ago. Here we go. Goodness. Here we go. So I've already, that's sticky. I'm going to turn this over just so you can see. I've already mounted the beige behind the brown, so it looks like mushrooms sticking out past the dirt. And this goes right here. Now, let me tell you something. I want to just layer it over here, but since I trimmed it a little bit, it's not going to be like perfect. And is it that one or is it this one? Is this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to like cut a lot of this off, like the sides, the top, and the side, and just leave enough for it to adhere to. Okay, and then I'm going to put my repositionable tape runner right there, and then I'm just going to stick it on. I'm going to cut some more off. I want to cut off a little bit more. Okay, just enough for it to adhere to. And then you just stick it on, and now you have a mushroom with a purple top. And you would do the same thing to all of these. Okay, so you would do your light blue, all of these, and so they're all miscellaneous colors, and it is so much fun to do that. And then when you're done, you would put your repositionable tape runner on the back using your mat. Now here's another example. Like when I'm putting tape runner here, excess would come off on whatever's behind here. But since I'm using our silicone mat, it doesn't. It's so wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way, shake off my scraps, and mount this at the bottom. Okay, and then just pretend that I did the same thing to all these other mushrooms as I did to this one, and you end up with this look. And I just think it's so fun. Now, let's talk about your photos. Get all this out of the way. So I've made these pretend photos. So one would go here, one would go here, one would go here. So most of them are 4x6s. And if they're already 4x6s, you don't have to cut them. But this one is 4x5. So it's already 4 inches wide. I just need to make it 5 inches long because it's a vertical photo. So basically, since it's 6 inches long, I just want to cut off an inch. So I'm just going to line this up at the 1 inch mark right there. Make sure y'all can see that and follow this grid line. And that cut off an inch. And now it is a 4x5 photo. So I'm going to take a pen. I've put my black pens here in the middle of this. I love this pen set with the case. I want to grab the fine tip. So I'm going to mark that out and just call it 5x4 photo. Just for teaching purposes, okay? So, and it's supposed to be vertical. Okay, well, five by 4 photo, so now you can read it. Get rid of all that. We're just playing. Okay, so here we go. So now I want to mat these. And basically when you want to mat a photo and have a skinny mat, you cut it 1/4 of an inch bigger horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to grab this purple paper. And since this one's 4 by 6, I'm going to cut my mat to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay? And that will give me a skinny mat for that photo. So I'm going to pull my arm out, give me more measuring space, and open this little foot down here so that everything's level. Going to line this up, and the first thing I'll do is cut, since it needs to be 6 1/4, I need to go out here on the arm. There's 6 inches and there's 1/4. So I'm going to line that up to the 6 1/4 mark. Make sure I'm straight all the way at the top. Put it down, hold it in place, and cut. So that's 6 1/4, and I'm going to flip it counterclockwise one way, and now I'm going to go measure up 4 1/4 and follow the grid line all the way down and cut. So now I have the perfect size to create a skinny mat for my pretend 4 by 6 photo. So I'm going to take some repositionable tape runner, and y'all, I use index cards for my pretend photos for teaching. That's why there's lines on the back. And I would mount that on top of my mat, and you have the perfect skinny mat. So that's how I did these. So I would do one, an orange one, a green one, and then here, since the photo's 4 by 5, I would cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 mat. Okay. Now, I made this little journal box. So I'm going to grab my ruler. I still love my old school ruler like I used in elementary school. It's not the same one. It's one I bought at the office store. But I'm just going to measure this. So I would want to cut my paper to write on to 3 inches vertical by 4 inches wide. And I would use the same method I did to cut my mats, just use different measurements. Now, we used to have this ruled paper. We don't have it anymore, which makes me sad. I hope they're just revamping it or repackaging it or something, because I use this stuff all the time. But what I've decided to do is I bought from Amazon a stencil. I looked up in the description, lined stencil. And it's coming to my house tomorrow, and it's basically just a stencil where I could draw faint lines on paper. And I would want to make them super faint with a pencil, just enough to barely see to keep my writing straight. Then I would do my writing. I would open up my pen case and grab a brown pen. That's the color I used here. And I used the fine tip side. And I would write on there to keep my line straight. And then, excuse me, y'all, I need water, but I don't have any. After it dries, I would erase my faint pencil lines. And then that's how we get that look. So that's easy to make. This is a little bit tedious to get all these cut on there, but it's fun and I really like it. So I think it was worth the time. Thank y'all so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.